Yes. Just leave it on then? So I still hit speak, oh no, we don't, do my, speak, test? You can hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yeah, let's leave it on now. Well, no, we better not. We'll just, yeah.
Could all county board members being sworn in today please go to the hallway to line up? Could all county board members being sworn in today please go to the hallway and line up?
Sure. Because they're gonna. Well, yeah, that's fine.
quieter. That's okay. Just leave it, Mike. All right. I'm sitting straight back. If I give you the, let you know it's not going good. But that's all it is, right? So we got more. Yeah, there's ordered. Dozen each. I think there should be enough for 6 per room. So there's 8 coming in. There should be. All right. I believe Tom ordered them. All right. So now Ben. How are you? Wonderful, man. You look like everybody should look, or at least feel. You look like everybody should feel. So Ben said to you, just call the number on the bottom. Oh yeah. Good. All right. I'll talk to you. You got it.
She's trying to look for them.
They said they're probably trying to find partners.
Test, test. All right. How long do we wait? Does she? All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the reorganization meeting of the Will County Board of December 5th, 2022. At this time, I will be introducing the newly elected and our re-elected county board members. And I will be, just so you know, they're coming in by district and just alphabetical order. So we have District 1, Katie Dean Schlotman, Joe Van Dyne. District 2, Frankie Pretzel, I'm sorry, Judy O'Gala, Frankie Pretzel. District 3, Daniel J. Butler, Sherry Newquist. District 4, Steve Ballage, James M. Richmond. District 5, Annette Parker, Sherry Williams. District 6, Janet Diaz, Denise Winfrey. District 7, Natalie Coleman, Vince Logan. District 8, Micah Freeman, Mark V. Revis. District 9, Raquel M. Mitchell, Destiny Ortiz. District 10, Julie Berkowitz, Meta Mueller. District 11, Ellen Costa, Jacqueline Trenier. At this time, I'm going to ask everyone to please stand for the presentation of colors by the Will County Sheriff's Department Color Guard, and then board member Meta Mueller will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you for coming this morning. For invocation, I'd like it if you would all join me in a moment of silence. Thank you.
At this time, I invite County Clerk Lawrence Daly Ferry to administer the oath of office to the elected members of the county board.
It's up to you. Will you guys be able to hear me?
Yeah, they'll be able to hear you. So at this time, the board members will come up and sign their certificates. The county clerk will lead you in how that is done, but we will then recess until 10:30. So there's refreshments back here. You can sign, take your pictures, and we will be back here for our reorganization meeting at 10:30 a.m. sharp. Morning, everyone. We'll wait just a couple minutes as a few of our members trickle in. I think they're grabbing coffee. I'm being extra nice today. For our new members, I'm an on-time person. I'll call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Dean Schlottman. Here. Van Dyne. Here. Ogella. Here. Pretzel. Here. Butler. Here. Newquist. Here. Balich. Here. Richmond. Here. Parker. Here. Williams. Here. Diaz. Here. Winfrey. Here. Coleman. Here. Logan. Here. Freeman. Here. Revis. Here. Mitchell. Here. Ortiz. Here. Berkowitz. Here. Mueller. Here. Costa. Here. Trainier.
Present. 22 present.
With 22 members being present, we have a quorum. I need a motion to place on file the certificate of publication. Motion by Trainier, seconded by Freeman. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Dean Schlottman.
Yes.
Van Dyne. Ogella. Pretzel. Butler. Newquist. Balich. Richmond. Parker. Williams. Diaz. Winfrey. Coleman. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Mueller. Costa. Trainier.
22 affirmative, the motion carries. Madam Clerk, will you please acknowledge the elected officials and media present today? Okay. We're going to skip that today. Although, you know what, I could probably do a quick glance. I know we have Nick Ryer with Farmers Weekly, Michelle Mullins with Daily Southtown. Elected officials, I see Duffy Blackburn right there. We have our county auditor, our treasurer, Tim Brophy. And in the audience, I saw Gary Marshke with DuPage Township Supervisor, Alicia Morales, Joliet Clerk, Township Clerk, sorry, I'm getting it. And I think that is it for our elected officials today. Oh, I'm sorry. The newly elected Senator Rachel Ventura, former county board member. Sorry. And over here too, just let me know. Okay. Terry Ransom, DuPage Township trustee. In the future, if you're an elected official, you sign in here with our clerk and she will read off your name. Yes, Ms. Freeman. Okay. Can we turn it up a little bit? Thank you. Okay. How's that? We better? Is it better now? Yeah. Okay, I'll lean forward too. All right, thank you very much. All right. We're moving on to business, the governance rules and procedures for the Will County Board in the County of Will, State of Illinois. Just so our members are aware, if you press your button, that is how you get acknowledged to speak. Your name won't come up yet, but I will look up to see your number, your desk number will come up for this meeting, and I will, unless you are in your same seat, and I will acknowledge based on who comes up first, second, third on my pad here. So, County Board Member Trainier.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the rules as amended for the county board for this next 2-year cycle.
Do we need to read them?
As presented.
Presented? Okay.
As presented.
Okay. Motion by Trainier, seconded by Winfrey. Is there any discussion? Yeah. County Board Member Mueller, or Ogalla, sorry.
Oh,
You are on, ma'am.
all right, I'm sorry. One ear isn't working yet. For page 7, which is 1.05B 3, I would like to make a motion to remove that rule.
At this time, we have a motion to remove item number 3 on page 7. Motion by Ogala, or seconded by Coleman. Any discussion?
Vote how you want.
All in,
Vote how you want.
previous roll call by Van Dyne, seconded by Trenier.
No.
Do you want a roll
Roll
call?
call,
with that?
please.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Dean Schlottman. Van Dyne. Ogala.
Yes.
Pretzel. Butler. Newquist. Balich. Richmond. Parker. Williams. Diaz. Winfrey. Coleman. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Mueller. Costa. Trainier.
22 affirmative, the motion carries.
Okay, on page 8, top of page 8, number 4, I'd like to make a motion to remove that rule.
Motion by Ogala, seconded by Freeman. Any discussion?
Previous roll.
Previous roll by
I can't do
Ogala?
previous roll.
No. Previous roll by Balich, seconded by Mueller. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion, one opposition, Daniel Butler. All in favor? Any opposed?
One
Thank you.
opposed.
Got 'em.
Yes.
Well, the roll call, is it, can we,
I can't hear Mary at all.
yeah.
I can't
Do you
hear
want a
us.
roll call?
Do you want a roll call?
Sure, go for
We're going
a
to roll call all these. How about that? Just to
Thank
be
you.
sure. How is
Get me
that?
used to the names.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That way Lauren can practice the names today.
All right. Dean Schlottman. Van Dyne. Ogala.
Yes.
Pretzel. Butler. Newquist. Balich. Richmond. Parker. Williams. Diaz.
She's reading.
Winfrey. Coleman. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Mueller. Costa. Trainier.
I'm going to page 11 unless you got something else.
1, 2, 3, 4 negative, 18 affirmative.
18 affirmative, the motion carries. Anything else, Ms. Ogala?
Yes, I do. On page 11, under Section 2, Committees of the Will County Board, I would like to put legislative back into, but just have it be just legislative.
You're
I'll
in the
make that
legislative
motion.
committee.
For it to be a new standing committee on its own, yes.
Motion by Ogala, seconded by Balich. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Dean Schlottman. Van Dyne. Ogala.
Yes.
Pretzel. Butler. Newquist. Balich. Richmond. Parker. Williams. Diaz. Winfrey. Coleman. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Mueller. Costa. Trainier. 22 affirmative.
22 members in the affirmative, the motion carries.
Well, this is just a typo kind of thing. To change capital improvements and IT to be just IT, no hyphenation between the two. It should be IT.
So we have a motion to just change the, we don't have to do, we have to do that? Scrivener's error? Should we do it?
This is a typo.
Yeah.
There are a few Scrivener's errors, so maybe we just make a note of that and hold it to the end and then just have a motion to correct all the Scrivener's errors. Or maybe we'll just generally say that and you'll give authority to staff to clean up the
Yes.
clerical errors.
Perfect. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so,
Sorry.
so is anything else there, Ms. Brown?
Yes, on page 21. I would like, it's under 3.01, order of business. Number 3, I would like to remove, I would like to keep invocation. I think that's something that grounds us, that brings us back to where we need to be, that sets us to remember what we need to do as a board, to act in a bipartisan way to represent all the constituents of Will County, and I would like to see that remain. I'll make the motion to keep it.
Motion by Gala, seconded by Berkowitz. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Dean Schlottman? Van Dyne?
Yes.
O'Gala?
Yes.
Pretzel? Butler? Newquist? Balich?
Yes.
Richmond? Parker? Williams? Diaz? Winfrey? Coleman? Logan? Freeman? Revis? Mitchell? Ortiz? Berkowitz? Mueller? Costa? Trainier? 14 affirmative.
Passes.
With 14 members in the affirmative, the motion carries.
Thank you. I'd like, on page 28, 3.14, virtual meetings, I'd like to have a roll call vote as to whether we keep the virtual meetings in or not. I don't know. I'll make a motion. I guess I need to make a motion. I'll make a motion to remove virtual meetings.
Okay. There's a motion to remove all virtual meetings. Okay, that's first. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Balich. Any
just need to
discussion
vote.
on that? County Board Member Mueller.
I would actually like us to keep the point B, if a board member cannot attend in person due to county business, those 2 lines, and then strike the rest of the paragraph under 5 ILCS 120/7. I motion to that,
All right. So there's been a
Keeping the
second
B,
motion to
but
take,
getting rid of the rest
to
about illness.
just allow
and
virtual
emergency.
meetings for those
Only
who
for
are
county
removed for county board meetings
And
or for
of course
county
we would-
board business. And there's a first and second. So now there's a discussion just on that aspect. County Board Member Berkowitz. Hold on one second.
I don't support that. First of all, if a person cannot attend due to county business, that's too broad. We were all elected to represent our residents, and we're aware of that obligation, so we should be here in person.
I think she did, because she's.
Any other discussion? We have County Board Member Van Dyne.
Thank you, Madam Executive. I believe where this subject came up was the fact that we do have a member that is president of the NACO organization. Sometimes that member is required to be out of town. As an elected official, we did have bipartisanship at the time that we wanted her to be elected a couple years ago, and I think it's only fair to allow her to participate, him or her, just if they're going for county business. All the other stuff can be removed.
Thank you. County Board Member Trenier.
Yes, Madam.
Sorry. No, I just turned you on. Yep.
I'll talk loud, it's
Yeah,
fine.
no, I know we-
This board supported her election to NACO. In fact, the other side of the aisle nominated her in a resolution here to support her in her role trying to be the NACO first vice president, second vice president, first vice president, and then president. If we took a vote to support her, both sides of the aisle, it was unanimous. we should support her. And that means supporting her when she needs to leave to do business and not penalizing her by not letting her vote.
Thank you. County Board Member Ballage?
Yeah, I don't look at not supporting that type of thing as a negative thing. We all know what is involved when you ran for this thing. And if you can't be here, all the past boards, if you weren't here, you weren't allowed to have a vote. You weren't even, there was a time when one of our members wasn't even allowed to speak at a committee because it was virtual, and she wasn't there. And that was just in the last group. So everybody knew ahead of time what this was. So now you guys are trying to say, because you're going to have a member that may not be here all the time, that you want to have special provisions for that member. I helped Denise get elected to NACO. I went out and campaigned for her at NACO, harder than a lot of other people on the Democrat side, because I thought it was important to have somebody from the county on NACO. But at the same time, I'm not willing to have anybody be able to vote unless they're here. That's what we agreed to when you signed up to do this. And now we're going to make special provisions. It's not fair. Totally not fair. So, you know, I don't know where this is going to come yet, but we were supposed to kind of like have things equal because we're a 50-50 board. So we have to start out being a 50-50 board, not we'll make a special excuse for X person. So I got a question for everybody in here. You say county business.
Mr. Ballard,
I'm the
you know you
township
direct me.
supervisor, and everything I do at the township has to do with the county. So now I cannot come to meetings and go virtual. Is that how it goes? There's other people here that have business that pertains to the county, and they'll demand to go virtual. So are we opening this up to saying anybody, if they have a good enough excuse, cannot be here? So we'll have it like it was during COVID where nobody was here? The answer is no. So we got to say no. So I'm voting no to this.
Thank you. County Board Member Mitchell?
I just wanted to add, if I may, I didn't know if there was anything left to add, but I just wanted to add, I think it's unconstitutional in a way to like create one rule for one person. I love it that, that we have a member of our board at NACO. I think that's wonderful. If she can't make it, if we can't make it, we just can't make it, and that's that.
Thank you. County Board Member Freeman?
Thank you, Madam Executive. I want to, over the last 2 years, I have seen that we were virtual. I've also seen that when members of the board are going to be gone for conferences, that we have to rework our board meetings around that. So we have already made concessions for when board members are gone. And then when we came back and we were in person, it was made very clear that you had to be present to vote, and that is why someone wasn't allowed to vote, was because that was the rule. So if it's a county board absence, I see no problem with allowing this, especially since we supported the role for NACO. I think that it makes sense that we support her and not make it impossible for her to do both.
Thank you. County Board Member Mueller?
I would be willing to amend it to say the cannot attend due to business of this public body. That's what the law says. I appreciate folks questioning that, but this is based on Illinois state law. So I guess
State
the
law,
constitutionality of it isn't really in
state
question.
law that says that she has
Right, the
permission
business
to
of the
vote.
public body.
So we have, okay, is there any more comments, any
If a
discussion?
board member cannot attend in person
We're
due
good.
to business of the public body, that's us, they may attend virtually only if a quorum is present in compliance with state law 5 ILCS 120-7A through C.
So we have,
And they would still vote ahead of time.
so we have a
The committee would still vote ahead of time to
motion.
allow that
Okay,
participation.
so we have a motion to amend, to change county business to public body.
Public,
And we have a
this
seconded,
public body's
we have seconded by Newquist. I got you.
Well, I don't have the verbiage, but there's a couple questions, so I'm going to try to cover all of them. So as far as the motion that's on the floor, procedurally, what happened, there was a motion to approve, I think, the section, right.
Does she need a copy?
Then there was a motion to remove that. And then there was a motion to amend the removal so
To
that
just state.
the portion that remained is only that someone could participate remotely if they are participating in business of the public body. That language is language which is under the open, all of these categories, include language from the Open Meetings Act. So the Open Meetings Act specifically allows public bodies to participate remotely if they adopt rules. So that's what we're talking about is, are you going to adopt rules to allow participation remotely? And if rules are adopted, then the public body needs to the person who wants to participate remotely must notify the public body or the designated person, I think it says secretary, that they will be participating remotely, and the public body must vote at its meeting to allow them to participate. So all of those things need to happen. So did I answer your question? That's the Open Meetings Act. That's what I was just referring to. So that's an option. That's what you're voting on, your rules. That's what she's referring to. That's the language in the Open Meetings Act that's the type of rule that you are allowed to adopt if you choose.
And my initial comment was that this is too broad. This is.
You asked her to clarify what we were voting on, so that's what she was responding to.
County business is too broad.
So they're not using the terminology county business. They're using the terminology business of the public body, which is the verbiage that's in the state statute.
And what does that mean?
Well,
The public body. So we have several people who are in township government. So they can remain at township, Jackie can remain at her township and phone in.
I don't know that township business is business of the public body unless there's a matter involving the township on the agenda. When potentially that could be possible. But you still would have to vote at the meeting itself to allow that person to participate.
County Board Member Coleman?
I'd just like to call the question so we can vote.
Yeah, I don't have a second. Seeing no second, we will continue.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, no, you always need a second, but I've already moved on, so we have any other? County Board Member Mitchell, do you have another comment?
So, I'm sorry, I am confused. If I'm a dentist, I'm just making this up. If I'm a dentist and I go to I'm on the dentist committee of United States, am I really, and I have to go away for my dentist convention, is that really doing dentistry, or is that like belonging to an association going away? So I'm looking at NACO as an association of counties, right, of county board folk, but not necessarily doing the business of the taxpayer. It is essential for our purposes to have that connection. I get all that. I'm just saying, is NACO really something that pertains specifically to county business, or performing what was the exact terminology? Performing the business of the public body. Is that really what NACO is? So I want to clarify that.
Well, Well, I think it's a good question. I don't think there's any definition in the statute as to what business of the public body is. Generally, it would be business that would be enshrined in the statutes and the ordinances as to what the roles of the county are, powers and duties. But I will say, I think that this county board has paid for the dues of NACO, and they did vote by resolution to support the membership and the office that Ms. Winfrey ran for. So
Board Member Butler. Hold on, you're not on. Don't. Yes, push your speaker button first. Yeah. Speak. There you go, now you're on.
Thank you. So just a clarification, when we talk about the public body, we're talking about this board specifically. That's it.
business of the
For when
county
it says it
board.
in that bylaws, we're talking about the county board.
Right.
Okay.
I would just say, hold on. I would just say that the business of the public body is the county board. Maybe we need to make it specifically say that, business of the county board for NACO, if need be, because we've invested taxpayer dollars in this role that she plays. We lobby on the things that NACO does. That's definitely taxpayer, interest. We should be supporting this.
We spend taxpayer dollars with that.
County Board Member Berkowitz, any additional questions or comments?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have, so the word bipartisan came up, and the fact that Denise, as a NACO president, she's representing us. Let's take our current, I forget what it's called, the NACO event happening right here in Will County. Well, I found out from the NACO newsletter what was happening in Will County. I found out there was an event at Lion Electric and a couple other events, but there was no communication on a county board level. I never got anything in my inbox. I had no idea any of these things were happening. I don't know if anyone else received the emails and the invitations, but as a taxpayer, a resident, and as an elected official, there was no participation in any of these NACO events. And maybe there's a couple coming up. I wouldn't know. I have no idea. Is the NACO event over?
All right, we're going to talk about the motion at hand. I understand that you have grief with, issues with that,
Well,
but do you have any other
again,
questions regarding?
This is supposed to be representing us. And where's the representation? So for that matter, I will not support this in any way.
Thank you. County Board Member Mueller?
Can we call the question?
You cannot because you've already,
Oh, I'm sorry.
You've already.
I didn't mean.
But is there any other discussion on this regardless? So we are going to clarify, can you please, can you read what motion we are, do you recall? Or,
But my understanding of the motion is that there's a motion to remove the various reasons for participating remotely, with the exception of allowing a member to participate remotely if they are engaged in business of the public body.
okay. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. Dean Schlottman. No. Van Dyne. Yes. O'Gala. Yes. Pretzel. No. Butler. No. Newquist. Yes. Balich. No. Richmond. No. Parker. Yes. Williams. Yes. Diaz. Yes. Winfrey. Coleman? Yes. Logan? No. Freeman? Yes. Revis? No. Mitchell? No.
Ortiz? Berkowitz? Mueller? Costa? Trainier? 12 affirmative. Do you have 12?
With 12 members in the affirmative, the motion carries. County Board Member O'Gala, is there any other?
No, thank you.
Thank you. So we now have, we'll take it back to County Board. Do we know?
So there's just one other suggestion that I have, and some of you, I think, are aware of this, but I think many of you are not. In the last week or so, the Illinois Supreme Court, can you hear me? I'm sorry. All right. The Illinois Supreme Court handed down a decision in the Kleppel versus Champaign County Board case. The reason I bring that up is because the Supreme Court found that county boards do in fact have a chair of the county board. So based upon that Illinois Supreme Court decision, I would recommend that you strike the term speaker and moving forward, use only the term chair for the entire rules. I can't make the motion.
Motion by Mueller, seconded by Pretchel, sorry. You two can't sit next to each other. You have short brown hair, not happening. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. Or, I'm sorry, is there any discussion? Is there any discussion? County Board Member Trenier.
I understand the Supreme Court ruling. Last year, the way we accommodated this was to vote in at County Board Chair, which just happens to be the Speaker. I'm not sure why we're changing it now. I honestly don't remember the argument for why we switched it to Speaker in the first place, because I don't believe it was Speaker when I joined this board 14 years ago. Mary, maybe you remember what the logic was back then?
As I think you're probably aware, some others are aware, that when the county executive form of government was formed, there were a lot of questions, and there could have been better clarification within the statutory scheme. At some point around 2004, 2005, there was some controversy as to what the role of chair was. There was a situation where the chairman of the county board was receiving phone calls and correspondence that was intended for the county executive, because most places throughout the state are not aware that Will County at the time was the only county executive form of government. The only other one right now is Champaign County. So there was a lot of confusion, and the correspondence was going in, to the chairman of the county board when it should have gone to the executive. There was not an appetite in Will County at that point to litigate it. So what was done instead was the county board and the county executive and the state's attorney got together. They chose outside counsel who issued a written opinion, and they agreed to follow that written opinion. And that is what we have done from that time forward. That being said, we now have an Illinois Supreme Court decision that says there is a chairman. There is no statute, and I will say, to kind of fill in the need for some leadership on county board, we had the speaker position, which is not provided for in statute either, quite frankly. So there is no provision for a speaker. There is a section that talks about the chairman, and the Illinois Supreme Court says that is applicable to the county executive form of government. So Will County is bound to follow that Illinois Supreme Court decision at this time.
My concern would be that we end up with the same problem that we had
may
before.
very well, and that issue was brought up during the litigation, and the trial court judge who actually initially ruled to uphold the type of government that Will County has followed even he said he didn't see any problem using the term chair. So, you know, that's where we're at right now.
I just prefer the solution that we found last year. Continue with the title of speaker and also elect that same person to be the county board chair, but use the title of speaker.
There's no provision in state statute for a speaker at this point.
Did the state Supreme Court say we had to strike the term of speaker? No.
That was not litigated.
That's what I'm saying.
Well,
and I doubt that there's going to be any litigation.
So okay, well, I will, I'm giving you the advice.
Yes.
Based upon a case called Dillon, which is Dillon's rule, which is county boards only have the authority which state legislature gives them. And there is no authority in state statute for the term speaker. So my recommendation is what it is, and that's why I have given it.
Thank you.
County Board Member Freeman. Let's make trouble.
Thank you. So I have a question, because we have on our rules, page 4, section 1.03C, where it states that the county chair under the county executive form of government, the county board speaker shall simultaneously hold the title of county chair. You're suggesting that we strike all of that and just say county chair?
Right, right. All the references to speaker would be chair.
Thank you.
Unless at some time, and I don't know. I don't know if our state legislature will enact new legislation. If it does, then we would have to respond at that time. But that's purely speculative.
Then they change it. Go ahead, go ahead.
Does that matter? Thank you. So if we did that, we would also have to go through and change all of the speaker verbiage to chair? Would that be a second motion?
No, I mean, this motion would cover changing every reference within the rules where it talks about speaker, the title would be chair.
Okay, thank you.
County Board Member Butler. Oh, start early.
Sorry, I just wanted clarification. So Champaign has the same executive style as we do?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, seeing no, County Board Member Costa.
Can we just then remove 1.03 section C altogether from the language? Do we need a motion for that?
Well, you want to remove all of 1.03?
C.
C.
Where it references the chair under the executive form would also be simultaneously called speaker.
Yeah, I mean,
remove that altogether.
part of correcting this, and so, as I referenced earlier, and I would consider this sort of a clerical error at this point, I had suggested that when you're done making all the specific changes, you make one motion to clean up any clerical conflicts. That would be one of them, and any grammatical conflicts. So that could be done as part of that overall, or you can do another motion later, but at this point, or you can amend this motion to make all corrections so that there is a county board chair and no reference to a speaker, and make the appropriate changes. We already have motions on the floor, so we either need to amend the motion or leave it and just vote as it is, which is to change every reference to speaker to chair.
No, no one has made that motion. Mary,
No,
oh,
I
you
think
just,
Meta
you just made a motion to, okay. So I have a motion by Mueller, seconded by Ortiz, or Pretzel, I'm sorry, that might, so there's, that we went to discussion anymore. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Dean Schlottman. Van Dyne. Ogala. Pretzel. Butler. Newquist. Balich. Richmond. Parker. Williams. Diaz. Winfrey. Gone. Coleman. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Mueller. Costa. Trainier. 21 affirmative.
21 affirmative, the motion carries. County Board Member O'Gala, is there any other changes? No. Okay. County Board Member Mueller, would you like to amend, or was it Trinier? I'm sorry, who made the original? Mueller did. Yeah. As amended.
And accept the rules as presented, and then we made a bunch of changes. I'll make a motion to allow staff to clean up clerical errors.
We have a motion by Trinier, seconded by Mitchell. Previous, well, no, we have a we can't have previous. County Board Member O'Gala,
So Jackie's motion is to accept the rules as presented, but ours.
as amended.
As amended, is
It
that
should
what
be
you
it.
said?
My original one was as presented, but I said it wrong, and I
All right,
meant as amended.
okay,
But
thank
right
you.
now, we have a motion and a second to allow the
For the
staff to go
clerical
back
errors.
and clean up any clerical errors. Discussion, we can't do, does the people voted no? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
There was no no's. There was no one. Right, that's why you did previous.
Sorry. Sorry, guys. This is a lot. We're getting there. So County Board Member Trinier made a motion to accept the rules as amended. Is there a second? Seconded by Ortiz. Madam Clerk? Seconded by Coleman, seconded by Freeman. Sorry. Madam, we did it, right? All in favor? Any opposed? Woo, yeah. All right. Do we do the?
Was a previous roll.
Yeah. She's official clerk call here. I think it was seconded by Mitchell. I don't remember who first, made the. So, we did it.
We did the amended, but not the, we did the clerical, we didn't vote on it yet. Motion.
We're gonna we'll make a sure, we motion by Jackie Trinier to clean up any clerical error. This is like deja vu. Seconded by Mueller. Previous roll by Van Dyne, seconded by Ballage. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries.
I got that.
This time, this time, at this time, we are accepting nominations for the position of sports chair, board speaker, chair, whatever. County Board Member Trinier, County Board Member Trinier. You're on, you were on.
But I went away. Okay, there we are. I wanted to nominate
You have to
Joe
press your
Van
button.
Dyne for chair.
I'm telling you folks here, I don't know what you do in your political game, but this is a decorum in a county board meeting. I told you beforehand, we press our buttons, and I will call in the order. You don't stand up and shout. County Board Member Trinier, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Executive. I'd like to nominate Joe Van Dyne to be the County Board Chair of the Will County Board.
County Board Member Trinier makes a motion, seconded by Mueller. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Is it the whole board? Yeah. Okay. Dean Schlattman. No. Van Dyne.
Yes.
O'Gala. No. Pretzel. No. Butler. No. Newquist. Yes. Balich.
No.
Richmond.
No.
Parker? Williams? Williams say yes. Williams was a yes. There's a lot of talking on the floor. Diaz?
They wanted to follow the rules. They told me.
Winfrey? Coleman?
Yes.
Logan?
No.
Freeman?
Yes.
We just had this meeting.
Revis?
No.
Mitchell?
No.
Ortiz? Berkowitz?
No.
Mueller?
Yes.
Costa?
Yes.
Trainier?
Yes. I got yelled at last time from going through this, that we said that once we voted, we cannot change our vote. And it was by your caucus member who made it very clear at a last meeting that we do not do these things and we follow Robert's rule. So the votes have been cast.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you have 11 to 10? I have 11, 10.
We've always changed the vote before, and what I have said is if we choose not to allow her to change her vote at this meeting, no one during this entire term will be allowed to ever change their vote.
You didn't give us any advice, so what does parliamentary procedure say? I mean,
She can make a motion to reconsider.
no, we're gonna do it right.
So she can make a motion to reconsider. So do we have, it's up to you to ask for a second.
Motion to reconsider by Parker. I thought we couldn't even vote it on.
She voted in favor, so she
Yeah.
can vote to
Motion
reconsider.
to reconsider by Parker, seconded by a Pretzel. Right.
All right, we need to stop the, all right. Roll call vote?
Madam Clerk,
To
please,
reconsider.
please call the roll.
Dean Schlottman. I'm not on.
Sorry, you were.
Dean Schlottman.
This is a vote to reconsider the previous vote. Are you going to have? Yes. Yes.
You're voting just to reconsider, you're not voting yes or no on, you're just voting on to do the vote over again.
No, you can't.
But just keep going, just keep going.
Van Dyne. No. Ogala.
Yes.
Pretzel.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Newquist.
No.
Balich.
Yes.
Richmond.
Yes.
Parker. Williams. Diaz. Coleman. Logan.
Yes.
Freeman. Revis.
Yes.
Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Mueller. Costa. Trainier. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10.
Motion passes to reconsider. County Board Member Van Dyne.
Thank you, Madam Executive. May I ask permission to have a 10-minute recess? Can I,
Motion by Van Dyne to recess for 10 minutes, seconded by Diaz. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. Yep.
Dean Schlottman. Van Dyne. Ogala. Pretzel.
Yeah.
10-minute recess.
Butler. Newquist. Balich. Richmond. Parker. Williams. Diaz. Coleman. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Mueller. Costa. Trainier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 affirmative.
14 affirmative. We will see you all back here in 10 minutes. Madam Clerk? All right. All right, that's all right. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. Oh, okay. We're going to do it slowly. We at least want a quorum here, so go ahead. We can call them back in when they get in there. We're not voting. Just call on the clerk, or Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Dean Schlottman. Van Dyne.
Mr. Butler, please sit down.
Oh, my God. Ogala. Pretzel. Butler. Newquist. Balich. Richmond. Parker. Williams. Diaz. Coleman. Logan. Freeman. Revis. Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Mueller. Costa. Trainier. Eighteen present. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, we have to call, yeah. Well, why don't you have staff go? Push a button. Made a motion by Trinier to nominate Joe Balich, seconded by Newquist. Joe Van Dyne, seconded by Newquist. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Dean Schlottman. Van Dyne. Ogala. Pretzel. Butler.
Yes, no, or abstain?
Yep, got to vote.
He said no.
Newquist. Yes. Balich.
Go.
Richmond. No. Parker. Williams. Yes. Diaz. Yes. Coleman. Yes. Logan. No. Freeman. Yes. Revis. No. Mitchell. No. Ortiz. Yes. Berkowitz. No. Mueller. Yes. Costa. Yes. Trainier. Yes. Van Dyne,
Yeah, they're back in by the time the call's done.
okay. So Van Dyne.
Yes.
Ogala. Balich. Parker. Is that everybody? Is that everybody?
Let you vote.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10 affirmative, 11 negative.
With 11 members voting negative, the motion fails. County Board Member Trenier, do you have another comment?
No, that was it. Thank you.
County Board Member Berkowitz.
I'd like to make a motion for Judy Ogala for speaker, or chair.
County
Excuse
Board
me.
Member Berkowitz makes the motion. There's a second by Butler. Any discussion? We already had a second. Big thing. Double second. County Clerk, please call the roll.
Sorry. I'm out of.
Here, you want my list?
I got one. Dean Schlattman. Yes. Van Dyne.
No.
Ogala. Yes. Pretzel.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Newquist. No. Balich.
Yes.
Richmond.
Yes.
Parker. Williams. Diaz. Winfrey's not here. Coleman. Logan.
Yes.
Freeman. Revis.
Yes.
Mitchell. Ortiz. Berkowitz. Mueller. Costa. Trainier.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
11 to.
With 11 members in the affirmative, the motion passes. At this time, we need to close. Did I do? You didn't open it. This time I need a motion. Do we do this here at caucus?
We do it here, but only the Democrats vote for the Democratic leader and only the
Yeah, I've got those sheets. Okay, can I get a motion to open, for nominations for Democratic leader? I nominate Jackie. Motion by Mueller. Seconded by Van Dyne. Madam Clerk, please call the roll, just on our side, on the Democratic side.
Newquist. Yes. Williams. Diaz. Winfrey. Nope, she's not here, sorry. Coleman. Freeman. Ortiz. Mueller. Costa. Trainier. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 affirmative.
We need a motion to open nominations for the Republican leader. County Board Member, I'm trying to think of who, Butler, your light's on?
Oh, I'm sorry,
No?
it was for a previous.
Okay. County Board Member Dean Schlattman.
I'll nominate.
Motion by Dean Schlattman, seconded by Pretzel. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Dean Schlattman. Yes. Ogala. Yes. Pretzel. Yes. Butler. Yes. Balich. Yes. Richmond. Yes. Parker. Yes. Logan. Yes. Revis. Yes. Mitchell. Yes. Berkowitz. Yes. 11.
11 in the affirmative, motion carries. This time, do we have any public comments for today's agenda's item? I need a motion to recess. Motion by Newquist, seconded by Trenier. All in favor? Any opposed? We are now recessed until December 15th, 2022.